On this bridal image by Jamie Parker, we're going to de-emphasize some of the areas on the face there where it's just the shadowing is a little harsh and the light distraction, the highlight on the end of the nose can be something we might want to pay some attention to. So let's zoom in and get to work on here. I'm going to make use of some of the techniques I talked about earlier. We're going to come in, make use of our clone tool. We're going to take it in our lighten mode and working with a value around 30%. So again, 3 becomes 30. And you'll find with a little bit of practice, you'll just get a feel for how large a brush to make use of, where to select your tone in terms of bringing it in, making it lighter. I like to work with different size brushes, so I eliminate the possibility of creating a distracting pattern. Just a little heavy through there. And again, there's ways of doing this that will take you a lot of time and are a lot more exacting. This is meant to be something that is effective without being too time involved. But there are some a little bit more involved ways you can check out. Jane Connor's Iser is a fabulous resource for all that you should be doing onto a facial retouch. I know that I've got some techniques to follow this with some of the softening that I'm doing. So there's some forgiveness in the process that I'm working towards that I can make use of right now just to be a little slicker in terms of how I spend that time. Similarly down here we're going to come in and just work through there. If I was to take a bright area from here and put it in there, obviously that would create something that doesn't work. So I want to make sure in my selection that I come in and select an area that's appropriate to where I want to lighten the intensity. We're not trying to remove this, we're trying to de-emphasize how harsh that particular area is. So we've done that nicely. So again, we'll from there to there, and we got that, and that's not too bad. We got that area through here. Now let's go in. We can see our looking pretty good there. Let's, in terms of how we're going to deal with the nose, we can make use of the same technique. We can come in and select our tonal areas that we're going to work from. And because this is highlighting the nose, the shape and stuff is there. In this case, I'm actually going to work with it in 100% mode. And what we're going to do is we're going to select the darken option in the blend. And the reason I'm working in 100% is because I want to maintain the patterning and the structure of the grain, if you will, that exists on the tonal area on the nose. I'll work with a slightly smaller brush through here, because if I didn't, I would run the risk of creating something that we would notice as being problematic because it has a shift in texture. It might even be subliminal, but it would be there. So we'll just come in and make this a little darker through here, just up to the edge, and I'm just using the edge feather of my brush. And working with the Wacom tablet really makes all the difference here in terms of what you're trying to achieve. So we're going to run parallel and just kiss, if you will, the line of that nose as it runs around, which is going to give us the ability just to take away the attention from this area. It's actually following the line of the nose, but I think I'm going to like just shaving off just, whoops, just a little bit of what's going on there. And hang on, that's where we want to, there we go. That didn't do it. There we go. That looks good. So you can see the very quickly we were able to, from there to there, bringing out the intensities that are prevalent in the shadows under the eyes and through here on the face and the highlight on the nose. We could go in and take that down as well. This one and through here, making use of similar techniques. But that's where we'll leave it for that. Next we're going to go in and look on the eyes. We've got they're kind of shadowed through here. I'm going to select my lasso tool and lasso tool, whichever way you choose to pronounce it. And we're going to select around the eyes. I've got my feather set to 25, so it's a fairly small number. I don't want to get a large area. And you see I'm doing a figure 8 kind of pattern. And actually that was just a little off. If I press my shift key and my command, or rather the option, I can come in and I can take away from that selection. So that's a little more in line. So that's my option alt key. Takes away from the selection. And my shift key, if I was to use that, you can see that your cursor changes to a plus as opposed to the minus when you use the alt option. And so now I'm going to hide that with the command control H, and I'll just bring up my curves, but with my shortcut control command M. We're going to lighten that area. And if I do it too much, you can see obviously that's too far gone. But what I'm looking to do is bring a more natural presentation to that shadowed area. I'm not too worried about lightening up the eyes because that's coming in the next step. But we've done fairly nice work through there, before and after. We'll zoom out a little bit, and if we look at this image from where we started to where we are in just a few minutes, we've got a beautiful base that we can do a little bit of lightening and bringing in the texture that comes from the skin softening, bringing that natural texture through the softening and the lightening that that's going to have through here. So that'll be coming up. We've got our eyes that we'll be retouching the tones on. We've got some blemishes that we'll be dealing with. And then we've got our skin softening overall. So by doing these little brush techniques first, and then doing our skin softening as a final step, we allow everything to blend together nicely within our final presentation.